So we're going to start lying down. Take your time. Use whatever props you want or you need, or maybe you don't want or need anything at all, which is fine. You can have bolster under your knees. You can have a blanket over you, or use your blanket as a little pillow. And as you get down onto the ground, maybe have a little think about whether you need to adjust your clothes, your hair, that little bit of extra comfort. So I know most of you, if we've not met, my name's Karine, and this is Slow Flow. It's going to be very nice and flowing and slow. Clues in the title. So, just starting to allow yourself to settle. Perhaps you close the eyes, or you have a fixed gaze, or almost kind of like a tired, a sleepy gaze. Starting to send these signals to the nervous system that we're coming to ground, we're softening, we're relaxing. Everything is fine, we're safe, we're welcome, we're loved. And perhaps you're here to find a bit of space in your body, maybe a bit of space in the mind, maybe a combination of both or something else. And it is World Kindness Day, so this is optional, as is everything, but you might want to place the hands onto your heart space. You don't have to share this with anyone else, but maybe just gift yourself some kindness. So is there something nice and kind that you could say about yourself? We can be quite rubbish at it. It's like if we said, oh, say something nice about someone in the room, you'd be like, oh, I love your hair, I love this, oh, you're so lovely. When it comes to ourselves, we're a bit like, so see if you can bring something kind about yourself. You might repeat it in the mind. Might be just a word, a kind word that you feel describes you. Repetition of a word or a phrase is called japa in Sanskrit and yoga. Just hold that in the heart. Oh, no, thank you. And then take a nice deep breath in. Breathe out. Let that kindness fill the room. And maybe that word, that phrase, that thought becomes your anchor, your focus, or your practice. So I'm going to start just listening to the chant, the Om Shanti. Some of you will have heard it before. Om is the seed, we call it Bija mantra. It's the original sound, the primordial sound. It's a vibration, it's a connection. Shanti is peace. So nothing you need to do, just be where you are, breathe in the peace, perhaps breathe out anything that doesn't serve you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Starting to bring a little bit of movement into your face. And maybe into the fingers and into the toes. Just be mindful of the people around you. Perhaps you have a bit of a full body stretch. Maybe you bring the knees in towards you. You have a little roll on the spine. So always, interpret it as what feels best for you. There's no right or wrong. And then let's pop the feet onto the earth. You could have the bolster up and towards your bum, or you could kick it away. It's completely up to you. And first of all, we're just going to start to work with the head and neck. So just gently rolling the head and neck from side to side. And really see if you can slow it right down. I have been exploring this week walking slowly, which probably sounds stupid, but I sometimes, because I'm late, but not really, I'm like a really rushed walker, and I'm like walking with like, oh my gosh, I must get here, I must get that, and sometimes I'm not even getting to anywhere special. So I've been practicing like, okay, what's it feel like if I just walk a bit slower? It's been quite revolutionary. I've probably annoyed some people walking behind me. I was like, why is she walking so slow? But you know what? You notice things. Number one, your heart rate's not sky high. You notice other people, other things. Let's start to move the knees from side to side now. So can you take the knees to the opposite way you take the gaze? I'm just rocking them from side to side. And again, can you just really kind of slow that down? Might be a whole breath just to come to one side. A whole breath just to go to the other side. Be soft in the face, in the shoulders. Just taking a couple more. Of course, it's up to you. You might find that you want to linger on one side, and that feels quite nice for your spine, or you want to linger on the other side. You might smile as you swish your knees from side to side. And then let's draw them back to center, draw the gaze back to center. Probably want to kick the bolster away from you now. Planting the feet to the earth about hip distance apart. Just bringing the arms down by the side of the body. Push through the feet, breathe in, peel the spine away from that. Breathe out and let it roll back down. Take 4 more just in your own time. Again, maybe we can elongate the breath. So we're not forcing. We never want to breathe to the point where, it feels like difficult. We're sucking air in and pushing air really far out. But perhaps we notice that we can just slow the breath a little bit. Breathing in through the nose if you can. Could be out through nose, but if you find that's a little tricky, if you've got sniffles or anything, then just have a really slim gap, almost like you could just pop a piece of paper between the lips and breathe out through the lips. There may be moments when you just want to have a big, do that. After that sets, just bringing the spine back to the ground. Inhale, let's bring the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. As we exhale, we draw it away past the ribcage, almost like we're tucking it in towards our right armpit. Slowly start to roll through that right ankle. Have a wiggle of the toes, both directions. Find a flex of your foot, so that's curling the toes back towards you. You could keep the left foot to the earth, or you could breathe in, and as you breathe out, slide that left foot away onto the ground, flex that foot. See if you can separate and turn the toes back in towards you. Nice soft face, shoulders. If you want to add a little bit of fire to it, you can lift the left heel away from the earth. And even though you're drawing in and kind of holding, try not to clench the teeth or lift the shoulders to the ears. Couple more breaths here. As you inhale, bring that left knee in towards you. Give both knees a little squeeze. And as you exhale, set the feet to the earth. Bring the arms down by the side of the body. We're going to come to a second set of bridge. This time, you could lift the fingertips to the sky as you lift the spine if you wish. Push through the feet. Inhale, peel the spine away. You might reach fingertips to the sky or even back behind. Exhale, bring everything to the earth. 4 more like that. Make it your own. Ignore what everyone else is doing. If you're familiar with the shape, or you're, just kind of good at understanding what I'm saying, which I hope is clear, then you might close the eyes. So that's kind of one quick way just to get awareness into the body, into our inner world, rather than the outer world. No rush. After that set is done, just bring the spine back to the ground. Inhale, bring the left knee in towards you as you exhale over to the side to miss the ribs slightly and in towards armpit. Slow wiggle of the toes and roll through that ankle. You can often kind of miss out on the feet a little bit or not really appreciate them. They're pretty important in standing. Let's take a flex to the foot, soften the face and the shoulders. Breathe in. If you want to, breathe out. Slide that right leg away. Maybe even lift the heel. Turn the toes back towards you. Inhale, bring the right knee in, give the knees a squeeze. And then an option here could be to take the hands behind the thighs, take 2 or 3 rolls forwards and backwards to a seat, or roll to the side and bring yourself to a seat. Either is fine. Seat of your choice could be legs crossed, could be butterfly with our feet together, could be legs extended. Nice tall spine. As we breathe in, we sweep the fingertips forwards and up, join the palms. As we breathe out, we come to the heart. 4 more. So this might be a good opportunity just to close the eyes. Feel your way through the movement rather than thinking what it looks like, what anyone else looks like. Again, just nice, full, true breaths. There is no rush. After that set, just bringing the hands to the heart, just in our seated Tadasana. Let's inhale the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, turn to your right. Sweep the arms out nice and wide. Then plant them down. Right hand behind, left hand in front. Inhale, push into that back hand to lift the spine, crown of head. Exhale, gently roll into that right shoulder. Be mindful of the neck. So it might just be that the gaze shifts a little bit behind us. Soften into your knees. So sometimes when we twist, the opposite knee starts to kind of lift and want to come over. As we inhale, we'll begin to come back to center, reach the hands towards the sky, upward salute. Exhale over to the left. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to twist. And in this slowness, we might notice different parts or areas of the body that are calling. Sometimes parts or areas of the body scream. I might just be able to breathe a little bit slower. Inhale, we come back to center, turn the palms to me. Exhale, start to fold the body forwards. Breathe in, come onto the fingertips, just lift and open the heart. And then as you breathe out, plant the hands, tuck the chin into the chest, come into your version of forward folds. So again, just ignore everybody else. It's not about how far down we get. If we wanted an ultimate goal of yoga, you know, the actual goal is something called samadhi or bliss, anand, being in this state of enlightenment. So the goal, you know, never was the headstand or any of that. These are positions that help us to come to meditation. Nice and slowly just start to unravel. As you breathe in, bring the shoulders up to the ears, feel the discomfort. As you breathe out, 2 more. Let's switch to crosses the legs, if that feels okay. It will feel a little bit different because we're quite habitual creatures, but as long as it's not painful, it's fine. Hands come back to the heart space. We breathe in, really reach up through side body. Exhale your left hand down to the ground. Reach the right fingertips up and over. Let's keep the front of the body nice and open. You might want to walk the left hand away. Try not to take the right knee with you too much. So here's lateral stretch. And then when we start to take the knee, it's more like lateral collapse. Breathe in, bring the body back to center. Breathe out, just a smooth transition other side. Inhale, we come to center. As we exhale, we're just going to bring the hands to the heart, close the eyes. Come back to that kind word, mantra, thought. Or maybe there's an opportunity to add another one. Take a breath in, breathe it out. Gently blink the eyes open, roll over the knees or take your knees to one side, and we're going to meet in tabletop. So roughly shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, but again, just listen to your body. Tops of the feet down. Simply just going to start by taking the hips from side to side. It might even be a natural place where your body goes. And then perhaps, similar to when we were on the back of the body, we take the gaze in the opposite direction that the hips go. If your head wants to go in the same direction, that's fine. let's start taking it into a bit of a circular motion. So we come up and over into one wrist, lean forward slightly, and come back and down with the seat to the heel. So just nice and slow. We might be inhaling as we move forwards, exhaling as we move back. Pause, circle in the opposite direction. I feel like I'm living in fear today because I had cramp in my right thigh earlier. And I'm just like, oh, there's a twinge, don't come back, don't come. But I tell you, when I have cramp, the neighbours must think I'm being murdered. So I'm like, Jang! At my partner. I'm surprised I haven't come round. Let's come back to center. Take it into cat-cow. As we inhale, the belly dips, the heart opens. As we exhale, we push the earth away, arch the spine, look to the heart. 4 more, just in your breath, in your own way. No rush. When that set of 4 is complete, we'll take the knees a little bit wider. We'll turn the toes towards each other. Walk the hands back, sit the bum into the heels, just give it a bit of a wiggle, get into the hips. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, deliver the upper body towards the earth. You can absolutely use a block or a bolster or your blanket for the head if you prefer. And then it's about how we're kind of reaching forwards with extension, but not tension. Perhaps the eyes are closed, nothing to say. As you exhale, the seat just sinks towards the earth. And you could have a little bit of a shuffle or wiggle into the hips if you feel that encourages a bit of softness. So we don't always have to be still. There is a practice. The one after this is yin yoga, and that explores being still in our positions, but more so not fidgeting for no reason. You can absolutely stay here if you wish, if it feels super nourishing. If you want to, as you breathe in, start to unravel, come back into tabletop, and a nice deep breath out. Tuck the toes onto the mat. And we want to keep the belly button kind of drawn up and in towards the spine a little bit here. As we breathe in, we tip the weight forward. So we're not just letting the belly come down. It's not a cat or cow position. As we breathe out, we push the seat to the heels, get into the soles of the feet and the toes, keep the hands where they are. Inhale. Shoulders slightly ahead of wrists. Exhale, seat to heels. Take a breath in here, look towards the top of your mat. Keep the hands where they are. As you breathe out, lift the knees. Seat comes towards the sky. It's the feet that we adjust. So generally speaking, most people will find hip distance works. If you've got quite tight hamstrings, you might go wider with the feet. You might have a little bit of slow kind of motion movement through this, bending the knees, just letting the head rock from side to side. It's quite a physically demanding position. So if you need to pause, take a break on the knees, then pop back into it, do that. Not going to be here for too much longer. Start to shift weight a little bit into the hands, and then step, walk, or jump, whatever you wish, toes to backs of wrists. Keeping your feet hip distance will help you balance nicely. Just have a little bit of motion of the bum and the hips from side to side in your forward fold. So we're extending into one leg, then bending into the other. As you inhale, extend through the backs of both of the legs. Bring the hands onto the shins or maybe the knees. Crown of the head towards me. So this is halfway lift. Next, exhale, bend the knees. Almost feel as if you're bringing belly to thighs or looking to the heart space. Let the head and the hands be heavy. Take 2 more like that, just moving between this strength of lifting halfway and softening. 1 more. And then up to you. I would suggest if you have any eye issues, blood pressure issues, or just suffer from dizziness or anything like that, head first. Otherwise, you could come head last, push the feet to the earth, start to rise. Do the obligatory adjust of your clothing because they just don't make your clothes that comfortable. Take an inhale, bring the shoulders up, exhale. 2 more. Let's turn the palms forwards, open the heart. Just gaze ahead or maybe close the eyes. Your feet can be as wide as you need to take them for comfort, for balance. Tadasana. Become aware of the soles of your feet. Can you just spread the toes a little bit? So even in socks, we can spread the toes. Coming up to the lower legs, into the knees, and up into the thighs and the glutes, bigger, the stronger muscles of the body. All the way up the spine, back of the neck, over the head, into the face, which is soft, the shoulders, which are soft, down into the belly, which is soft. You could keep the eyes closed or you could blink them open, whatever you wish. Breathe in, fingertips come forwards and up to sky. Breathe out, hands to heart. 4 more. Take your time. Whenever that set is done, just bring the hands back to the heart space. Inhale, fingertips lift to the sky. Exhale, turn to your right. Open the arms. Turn the palms the same way as the chest. Fingers nicely spread. You might gaze a little bit towards that back thumb. You might not. Keep breathing in the twist. Inhale, come to center, join the palms, upward salute. Exhale, opposite side. Keep breathing there. Inhale to center, palms towards me, bend the knees as you exhale, bow to that. Inhale, halfway. We've been here before. Strength rises. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more, just in your own breath. Fingertips or palms, depends on your anatomy, will reach for the earth. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, stride that right foot back. You can work with having hands either side of your foot or inside your foot. Runner's lunge. Back heel just slightly lifted. Take a breath in, breathe out, pop that back knee down, front knee is over the heel or ankle. Inhale, it might just be come up to the thigh, the heart, or you might open the arms to the sky. Find a focus point, or you could, of course, close the eyes. In through nose, out through nose or mouth. Soft face and shoulders. Let's take it into a twist. We're going to twist over the left side. So we breathe in, breathe out over that left knee. You could bring the hands onto the body. You could take the arms wider. You could bring the hands into a prayer. There might be something else that you discover. Another option here could be to tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, but we want to stay in our twisted position if we're working on that. Just an option. Breathe in, start to turn to center. Breathe out, drop the hands and the knee to the earth. Inhale, let's walk the hands forward. Just bring a little bit of weight forward so we can bring the knee ahead of the toes. Exhale, we walk back. We might tuck the back toes and lift the front toes. Just going to take 2 more like that. So just nice and slowly. It's about kind of, in yin yoga, we'll call it finding our edge. So yeah, where there's a little bit of sensation, but we're not pushing past it and being like, oh, this hurts. I don't know why. I don't know why people do that. Why do people do that? Come back with the hands to the earth. Inhale, lift that back knee. So we're back in runner's lunge. Exhale, step into plank. So it could be plank with the knees lifted. It could be knees down with knee. Try not to let your head just hang. So the shoulders draw back, the crown of the head draws forwards. Let's pop onto the knees. Remember that feeling that we had earlier when we were shifting weight forwards and keeping the belly button drawn in? It just helps us to keep the abs nice and strong. We breathe in, shift the shoulders slightly over the wrists, bend the elbows into the body. Slowly we breathe out, come down onto the mat. Inhale, we roll the shoulders back just to lift the heart space. Take a breath out. And if you have any lower back issues, probably wouldn't recommend. But if you don't, you could squeeze the bum cheeks, lift the knees, and just take the hands away. So that gives the back the pressure rather than the hands. Pop the hands back down, tuck the toes, kneecaps on the earth. Breathe in, breathe out, push back. We're going to take the knees wider, relax the feet, walk back, nuzzle bum into heels. Inhale, exhale, child's pose. And take a nice deep breath when you get there. Well, just allow the body to soften. Really important that we balance our practice. So with a bits of movement, bits of stillness. Plank, quite fiery. Child's pose, the opposite, like a water element. In Eastern philosophy, it's called walking the middle path. Nice and slowly, let's start to bring ourselves back into tabletop. We've been here before. We sway the hips from side to side. So repetition has lots of benefits, one of which is like, oh, I'm familiar with this now, so I can close my eyes and enjoy it. The other is muscle memory, exploring how something feels later in your practice. Let's take it into circles. Pause and circle in the opposite direction. Take it into something else or a couple of cat-cows. Let's tuck the toes, push the seat back to the heels, hands are the foundation, they stay where they are. We breathe in to prepare. We breathe out into our downward facing dog. Just thinking, or no, not thinking, feeling the weight in the hands. So you're trying to create this kind of inverted V shape. If we feel like, oh, there's a lot of weight in my hands, that's really hurting my wrists, we maybe need to bend the knees, push some weight back up into the tailbone, nice adjustment. Start to shift the weight of the body forwards. Look towards the top of the mat as you walk, step, or jump the toes. We've been here before. We inhale halfway. We exhale. 2 more. Up to you then, head first or last as you rise upwards. Roll the shoulders back, turn the palms forwards, fix the gaze or close the eyes. Nice deep breath. Tadasana. The spread of the toes. Moving up into the legs, the spine, the head and face, back down the front of the body. Gently blinking the eyes open. Inhale, sweep the hands up, join the palms. Exhale to heart. 4 more. You can re-close the eyes at any point you wish. Absolutely no rush. Just bringing the hands to rest at the heart whenever you're ready. We'll breathe in, take the fingertips to the sky. Breathe out, turn left, open the arms. Just continue to breathe, soften the shoulders away from the ears, nice active fingers. Inhale to center, join the palms above the head. Exhale, we turn to the other side. Breathe in, turn to me, palms forward, soften the knees, bow to the earth. Inhale, that halfway position, long arms, legs, spine. Exhale, soften, fingertips or palms to the earth. Breath in, prapasas, breath out. We step that left foot back. Just spending a moment in our runner's lunge, back heel lifted. We could have softness to the back knee or be opening up through the hamstring with a little encouragement of the heel to the earth. As you exhale, pop that back knee down. As you inhale, find your version of low lunge, whatever that might be. Gazing forwards. If you're lifting the fingertips, you might find the gaze shifts up slightly, or maybe the eyes are closed. I'm going to take it into a twist. Breathe in. As you breathe out, turn over that bent knee, hands to body, arms wide, hands in prayer, whatever version works for you. Get comfortable there. And if you want to, but you don't have to, you could tuck the back toes, lift the knee, position yourself back into that twist. Just an option. Steady breath will equal steady body. Breathe in, start to turn back to me. As you breathe out, bring the hands and the back knee down. Inhale, we start to take the body forwards. Exhale, we walk it back. So that's kind of starting to work on what we call Hanumanasana, which is a split position. 2 more like that. Eventually we come back into our lunge. We tuck the back toes, take it in your own time. You lift the back knee, sweep that front foot round into plank. Could be kneeling plank. Knees are slightly behind the hips. Whatever plank we're in, it's like we're drawing energy from the belly button up through the low back. Crown of the head forwards. Nice. If you have your own safe vinyasa, so safe being keyword, and you might want to take that here or join me on the knees. Breathe in to shift the weight forwards. Breathe out to come down to the earth. Inhale, we take our back bend. Exhale, we could come through child's pose, or you might roll straight up into your last downward facing dog. If you prefer, you could be in tabletop or in child's pose. I'm going to take 4 more breaths, but you dictate your practice always. If your body says, I'm just a bit tired, come to ground. Next, exhale. Let's bring the knees to the earth. Take them wider. Start to bring the seat back into the heels and deliver ourselves to the earth. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Feel the face, the shoulders, even the fingertips just allowed to soften. And slowly, let's start to unfurl. Again, take your time. Anything, it's like in this space, like how slow, well, you don't want to challenge me, it's how slow I can go, because believe I can go slow. And then let's find ourselves in a comfortable seat. So that could be back in cross leg position. If you prefer, you could have your bolster and just pop it in between the legs and sit on the knees. So somewhere really where the spine is nice and long. If you are by a wall, you could practice with the spine up against the wall. At home, if I meditate, I do, so I tend to just, I normally just fall asleep. I'm a very sleepy person, you see. I'm surprised I can do a 6-minute yoga class without just like, so nice tall spine. Maybe you bring the hands to the heart as you close the eyes. If you don't want to close the eyes, that's fine. It's your practice. Instead, perhaps draw the gaze down to the tip of the nose and into the eye. So this is, I say meditation, but this is really concentration. So there are stages. Go into this, but this would be like a workshop. There's an 8-limbed path. And this is before the step of meditation. So samadhi is our kind of final part of that path. Is the bliss? Do we find it? I don't know. I am not a guru. Also, no one is a guru. So if anyone tells you they are a guru, you should walk away from them. So it could be that you're just connecting to your heart. Could be you're connecting to your breath. Maybe you're connecting back to that kind word, that kind phrase, or maybe you want to offer this part of your practice to someone else. It could be someone specific that comes to mind. It could just be, you know what, in general, I'm just offering the thought of kindness out into the world because it could definitely use some more of it. And you don't have to kind of just keep thinking that, although that is something called japa. This is more of a practice of when my mind drifts away to something that's outside of this special space that I have for myself. I take a deep breath, I remember what my anchor and what my intention was, and I'll just bring myself back there. I'm going to take 2 minutes here. Could feel like 2 seconds, could feel like 2 years. Just do your best. There's no right or wrong. Take a nice deep breath in. And you might keep the eyes closed. Perhaps you release the hands. And you're just going to start to gently sway your body from side to side. And then perhaps in a circular motion. Pause and take it in the other direction. And then just start really slowing it down until you come to a still position once more. Breathe in, lift the chin up towards the sky. You might open the mouth, just feel that stretch through the throat. Breathe out, close the mouth, chin comes to chest. Bless you. Inhale, head to center. Exhale, drop right ear towards right shoulder. Don't force, just let the head go where it needs to. Breathe in center. Breathe out, drop to left. And into center. So we're going to come down onto the mat, have a sip of your drink if you've got one, and gather everything around you that you might want. You could absolutely have your bolster already set up because that can work well with our last movements. If you feel like you might get a little bit chilly, I'll whack the heaters up, but you might want to put a layer on. If you don't want to put the full blanket on, it can feel just nice to put the blanket kind of on your low belly when you lie down. So take your time. We'll meet on the earth with the feet to the earth, the spine down. So really kind of get yourself everything you need to be snuggly. And our last bit of movement will be a twist. If you feel like, do you know what, I'm just done with movement, I want to be a bit still, you do that. If you're taking the twist, bring the soles of the feet to the earth. The bolster will help it be a little bit more restorative if you've got it there. Push through the feet, just slide your bum and hips to the left. Let your knees gently drop right. You might take your gaze in the opposite direction, you might not. Perhaps you have already closed the eyes, or you start to blink slowly with intention that the eyes will soon close. Let's bring the knees back to center if we've twisted. Pop the feet to the earth. Slide bum right, drop knees left. Maybe the position of the head changes, maybe not. So in some instances, we're kind of seeking sensation. Sometimes we're not so much. When we're coming towards rest, we might just be seeking comfort, something that feels a bit more nurturing. Bring your knees back to center. And if there is anything else that feels good here, you don't have to, no yoga and all its asanas. Movement is movement. Do you want to stretch? You just want to have a little massage of any areas of yourself, a little roll round. And then what serves you for your rest? Is it the position you're in? Is it to spread out a little bit? Is it to roll to the side and kind of snuggle like you're in bed? Do you need to block out the light with an eye pillow? Do you need to adjust your hair, your clothes? So it's really worthwhile just taking the time now to settle yourself as best you can. The eyes might already be closed or they might close here. If you're not comfortable with that, you could fix your gaze or take the gaze towards the tip of the nose. A natural breath just guides you into your rest. And in a world where we are almost encouraged, really, to just be busy all the time, it's loud, it's bright. See if you can savor these moments of being still. It can feel weird because we can be used to this kind of hustle culture. Like too much fire, too much hustle leads to burnout. You're safe here. Just allow yourself to rest. You might bring the hands to the belly, follow the breath, bring the hands to the heart, come back to your kindness. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Begin to deepen your breath. And as you hear the sound of the chimes, begin to bring some movement to the body. Slowly reawaken. Just be mindful of who and what is in the space around you. Lulling yourself over to the side of the body. Stay nice and close to the earth. Maybe you keep your eyes closed, or you almost have a kind of sleepy face. Push into the earth. Slowly bring yourself upwards. Find a comfortable seat. So sit nice and tall. You could bring the hands back to the heart. You could join the palms in what we call a mudra, Anjali mudra or namaskar. And we finish our practice just with a unified Om. So this is not about how you sound, about whether you're a singer. Sanskrit is a vibrational language. So in a moment, we take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we Om. You could hum, you could just listen. It's up to you. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently bow to the heart. Thank yourself. Body, breath, mind, perhaps spirit and soul. That's your belief. We bow to thank each other, and I bow to you. Thank you for trusting me to guide you. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark within you. Namaste. Thank you.